Hello, this is Swami Pranava, and today I am talking about Vedic astrology. The subject is the signs of the Zodiac. The Zodiac is a band in the sky where the sun seems to rise in the east and then set in the west. There are 12 divisions. Each division is a constellation of stars, and in your birth chart, you're going to see 12 boxes, and we'll look at that in a moment. The first sign is Aries. In Aries, everything is new. The soul enters a new cycle of existence. These people are fearless. They've never experienced anything. They have a sense of adventure. The second sign is Taurus. Taurus is where the soul discovers sensual enjoyment. So in Aries, action is the key characteristic of the person, taking action to discover things. But in Taurus, desire is the key element of the personality. And then in Gemini, the soul realizes it needs to communicate with others. And so there's a strong desire to connect with one's soulmate. There's a desire to have a partner in life. And in the fourth sign, Cancer, the soul realizes it needs to have a solid home. It needs to have a solid foundation in the material world. The symbol is the crab coming out of the water up onto the land. In the fifth sign, Leo, the soul discovers that it has an identity in this world. People think about us in a certain way, and we think about ourselves in a certain way. So that identity becomes very important. The symbol of Leo is the lion, the king of the jungle. Leo is ruled by the sun. The sun is like the true self, but it's also the ego and the power. The sixth sign is Virgo. Virgo is where the soul wants to be perfect, but it has no idea about spiritual life, so it tries to be perfect in the material world by material success, making money, becoming famous. The sign for Virgo is the young girl, the young virgin. And in Virgo, we realize that we have to grow up, and all those romantic ideas that things can be perfect in this world, we have to detach from those. In the seventh sign, Libra, we discover spiritual life. Saturn is exalted in Libra because Saturn wants to lead us to the spiritual life. So he's very happy now that the soul realizes there is no perfection in the material world. It's a world of relativity. And so in Libra, we try to find the balance. I picture the Libra person as still doing their material activities, still trying to be a very good person in terms of material achievements, but having some idea that we need spiritual awareness, we need spiritual fulfillment. The person might be taking a few yoga classes, kind of getting interested in spiritual practice. But Saturn says, that's wonderful. You know, keep going, ko lin, as we say in Vietnamese. In the 8th sign, Scorpio, the soul is extremely discontented. It's not going to be satisfied with just taking a few yoga classes. It has to take some drastic action. It realizes that we need to put out some kind of extreme effort and be very courageous in order to go forward in our spiritual journey. So it can be a very painful time in Scorpio because we realize we have to let go of our attachments. Scorpio is ruled by Mars, the warrior. So it takes the courage of Mars to learn the lessons of Scorpio. The 9th sign is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is where the soul realizes it needs spiritual life and only spiritual life. So it struggles to try to transform from the animal to the human, a horse, but with the head of like a human body. The human is like the upper part of the horse. So human and horse. So human and animal combination. But in Sagittarius, we are convinced that we need spiritual life and we want to dedicate ourselves to spiritual life. We have found the answer. In Capricorn, the 10th sign, we realize that spiritual life is a lot of work and we have to face a lot of karma from the past. So we work very hard. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the planet of discipline and hard work. Capricorn people are generally quite serious about their life. And they do a lot of service, a lot of karma yoga. The 11th sign is Aquarius. That's where the soul realizes that it has to awaken the Kundalini. It has to tap in to the mystical side of life, the mystical energy. So it dedicates itself fully to the spiritual practices, and it's a wonderful time of awakening. The full answer is revealed in Aquarius. And then in the final sign, Pisces, we simply dive into the water. The water is spiritual life, and we're completely immersed. And it means there the soul finds its fulfillment. There's no more effort. We simply swim with the current, and we enjoy the bliss of the spiritual life, but we also prepare for the next cycle. And so Venus, the symbol of having children and, reproducing, is exalted in Pisces. Okay, so that was a little bit about the signs. Now I'm going to show you a chart so that we can see how it looks in your birth chart. And we have a chart. And this is the chart of Tokyo, where I am right now. And it's the chart of now. That means, currently what's in the sky, what you would see in the sky. And you would see the sign Aries here. And then you would see Taurus. And then you would see Gemini, Cancer. And probably now Cancer is rising because Jupiter is in Taurus, and I already saw Taurus a couple hours ago. And so after Jupiter rose, then Gemini would rise, and then Cancer would rise. So probably we can see Mars by now. And so the reason for this is that the Earth is in the middle here. And I'm going to draw with the pen tool so you can see that. So the Earth is in the center here, and the Earth is turning in this direction. And so if I look to the eastern sky right now, I would say probably from this point on the Earth, which is Tokyo, right here, then probably we look and we're starting to see Leo rise. So that's what we're seeing now. So Mars is probably in the sky, and Jupiter is definitely in the sky because I saw Jupiter already tonight, 2 hours ago. And then the sunrise will come later here in Scorpio. So you can see that the sun is here. And so as we go around, we have the first sign is Aries. It's always in this box. So you have to remember these 12 boxes. Taurus is always here. And like I said, Jupiter is in Taurus right now. Gemini is the third sign there. Cancer is the fourth sign. Leo is the fifth sign, and so on. You have Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Okay, now let's look at the sun. The sun is in Scorpio, and it's at 17 degrees. So that means it's about halfway through the sign of Scorpio, because each sign is 30 degrees. So it's a little more than halfway through Scorpio. So that means when the Earth turns enough, you're going to look to the eastern horizon and you're going to see the sun rising at about 6:15, something like that here in Tokyo. So at 6:15 in the morning, if I'm standing here on the Earth, now see Tokyo is here because a few hours later, the sun is now rising at 6 in the morning. And so I look here and I'm going to see about 17 degrees. That's only about 12 degrees, but if I drew it properly, it would be the line would be farther over like that. So I'm going to see 17 degrees of Scorpio. Okay, and that would be where the sun is. And as we go around the chart, we see the different signs, and we can see different planets in signs. So like I said, Jupiter is in Taurus, and that JP is Jupiter. The ascendant is the sign that is rising now. Okay, and so this is the chart of right now. Like I said, Cancer is rising. And it's interesting here because, see, the ascendant is 11 degrees and Mars is also at 11 degrees. So that what means is what that means is Mars is right on the horizon right now. Okay, and then later K2 will rise, and then the sun will rise at about 6:15 in the morning, and he will be close to Mercury. Mercury's a little farther, so the sun would come up first, and then Mercury will come up after the sun. Then the moon will rise, Venus will rise, Saturn will rise, Rahu will rise, and that will be the cycle. And it's 2 hours rotation of the Earth for each sign. So each sign is 30 degrees. In 2 hours, the Earth rotates 30 degrees, which means in 24 hours, the Earth rotates all the way around, comes all the way back to its original position. Okay, so this is a little bit about charts and the signs, and we'll continue in the next video. Thank you. Om Shanti.